In 1992, a police station in Madrid, Spain, received a frantic call from Maximo Gutierrez, who claimed that he and his wife were under attack by tall, shadowy figures. The responding officers were skeptical, dismissing the call as hysteria or perhaps even a prank. Still, they decided to investigate in case it was a genuine home invasion. When they arrived, the Gutierrez house was eerily silent, unnervingly so. There were no signs of forced entry, no signs of theft. It felt wrong. Still, the officers declared the house safe and called the Gutierrez couple back inside to recount their experience. But the calm was short-lived. As the officers sat with the couple, a thunderous crash echoed from the porch. The sound, described later as resembling a massive boulder dropping and rolling, jolted everyone. They rushed outside, weapons drawn, but found nothing. Just an empty porch. They stood there in uneasy silence, scanning the area, when one officer suddenly yelled, "Duck!" An armoire door inside the house had flown open with such violence that it narrowly missed decapitating one of the officers. The officers immediately inspected the armoire, looking for wires or some trick to explain what had just happened. Nothing. It was just an ordinary piece of furniture. Two of the officers, unnerved, refused to stay in the house any longer and waited outside. But others pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. Inside, the Gutierrez couple told them a story that sent chills down their spines. Their daughter, Estefanía, had died under mysterious circumstances, and her death, they believed, had unleashed something dark within the home. Estefanía, they explained, had attended a strict religious school. One day, a teacher had caught her and her friends secretly using a Ouija board. Furious, the teacher had rushed over, smashed the board, and destroyed the planchette. But as it shattered, something strange happened. Everyone present claimed to see a thick black smoke rise from the broken planchette. It swirled for a moment before seemingly being inhaled by Estefanía. From that day, her health and sanity began to unravel. She spoke of shadowy figures that would stalk her, crawling out of her closet at night and slithering across her room. Sometimes, she said, they would even touch her, their hands cold and unrelenting. Terrified, her parents sought help from doctors, but none could explain her condition. Then, one night, Estefanía died in her bed. There was no apparent cause of death. And then the haunting began. As the Gutierrez parents shared their story, an ear-piercing scream erupted from Estefanía's old bedroom. The sound was so sudden, so blood-curdling, that the police officers leapt from their chairs, hands instinctively reaching for their weapons. The father and officers ran to the bedroom, throwing open the door. The room was empty, yet the screaming persisted. The crucifix that had hung on the wall was now on the floor, and deep, jagged scratches marred the spot where it had been mounted, scratches that had not been there moments before. The pounding began next, reverberating through the walls as if the house itself were alive. The officers searched desperately for the source, but found nothing. One officer spotted a photograph of Estefanía lying face down on the floor. He picked it up, and though the frame was intact, the image inside had inexplicably burned, leaving blackened edges and her face distorted by the flames. Then there was the ooze. A strange, crimson-colored substance began to seep from the furniture, a viscous alien liquid that neither the Gutierrez family nor the police could identify. By now, even the bravest of the officers had reached their limit. They advised the Gutierrez family to leave the house as soon as possible and made their own hasty retreat. The family heeded the warning and moved out shortly after. They reported that the moment they left, the paranormal torment stopped completely. The case remains one of the most chilling in Spanish history. The events witnessed by the police, including the chief inspector himself, were documented in an official report, with all present officers swearing to the truth of what they had experienced. To this day, the story of the Gutierrez haunting remains one of the most terrifying and inexplicable paranormal cases on record.